What if the moon suddenly disappeared? This question sounds like the beginning of a weird dream or a sci-fi movie. But let's say it happens. One night, you look up at the sky and no moon. No warning, no explosion, no leftover crumbs. It's just gone. Poof. Vanished. The first thing you might notice is the sky looks darker. Not because the moon was a light bulb or anything, but it did reflect a decent chunk of the sun's light. Without the moon, stargazing would be amazing, assuming you're still alive to do it. But don't worry, things don't go catastrophically wrong immediately. You've got maybe a few hours of peace, so enjoy them. Next comes the tides. The moon is responsible for the bulk of Earth's tides, thanks to its gravitational pull. Without it, the oceans get weird, very weird. Tides won't just become smaller, they'll become pathetic. Coastal ecosystems that depend on the rhythm of high and low tides start to break down. Crabs, sea turtles, and fish everywhere begin freaking out. Somewhere in the ocean, an octopus is writing a very strongly worded letter to whoever's in charge. But it's not just marine life. Humans have built entire cities and ports around tidal patterns. Remove the moon and all those calculations go out the window. Shipping lanes become unpredictable. Some harbors might dry out while others flood. Basically, the moon was keeping the oceans organized, and now it's like someone fired the manager. Then there's Earth's tilt. Right now, our planet spins at a nice 23.5-degree angle, which gives us seasons. Hot summers, cold winters, and that annoying week in April where it snows even though you already packed away your jacket. But the moon plays a big role in stabilizing that tilt. Without it, Earth's axis could start to wobble like a spinning top that's losing momentum. And I don't mean it'll just shift a little. Over thousands or millions of years, it could swing wildly. One year, you're living in a tropical paradise. The next, your house is a frozen wasteland. Climate zones become chaotic. Penguins might end up in the Sahara, and Florida could get snowstorms in July. The Weather Channel would just give up. Also, remember those ancient myths where people thought the moon controlled human behavior? Like full moons causing madness? Well, without a moon at all, it's possible people would go equally mad. But for different reasons, mostly lack of sleep. Because moonlight plays a subtle role in regulating our sleep cycles. Some people might adjust, others might just become permanently grumpy zombies who yell at squirrels. But here's where it gets even weirder. The moon doesn't just influence Earth, it influences space. No moon means fewer gravitational interactions in the Earth-Moon-Sun system. That might sound good, less cosmic tug-of-war, but in practice it could leave Earth more vulnerable to certain kinds of orbital chaos, like rogue asteroids. The moon's been quietly acting as a bodyguard, taking hits so we don't have to. That crater-covered face? Yeah, those weren't love letters. Take the famous Chicxulub impact, the one that wiped out the dinosaurs. What if the moon hadn't been around to intercept a few other extinction-level rocks before that one? It might have been dinosaurs version 3.0 by now, and we'd be fighting for territory with feathered lizards. Now, let's take a second to think about what actually happens to the moon. Where did it go? If it were destroyed in an explosion, we'd have bigger problems, because that debris would rain down on Earth like a million tiny meteorites with anger issues. A disappearing moon, though, as in just vanishing, would avoid that. Still, you'd have conspiracy theorists blaming aliens, governments, or that one guy who always says, "Trust me," before explaining why jet fuel melts steel beams. Meanwhile, cultures and religions that track time using the lunar calendar would suddenly need to adjust. Lunar festivals? Gone. Werewolf movies? Outdated. Once in a blue moon? Now just sounds confusing. Let's not forget space travel. Without the moon, our entire history of space exploration would be different. Apollo missions would never have happened. Neil Armstrong would have become a math teacher. Buzz Aldrin would have probably ended up on Dancing with the Stars a lot sooner. The moon was humanity's first stepping stone into the universe, both symbolically and technologically. Without it, our ambitions to colonize Mars or build Starfleet might have been stuck at, let's maybe reach the top of the atmosphere. And what about art and poetry? Without the moon, half of romantic songs lose their metaphors. Lovers stare into the sky and say, "Isn't that just empty and depressing?" No more moonlit walks, no more howling wolves. Shakespeare would have had to rewrite a few things. By the bright street lamp doesn't quite hit the same. Of course, all of this assumes the moon disappears instantly and cleanly. If it gradually floated away, we might have time to adapt. Scientists would panic. Governments would hold emergency press conferences. Internet would explode with memes. People would sell NFTs of the last moon selfie. Some guy in Nevada would definitely try to sell moon rocks that are just glitter-covered driveway pebbles. Eventually, humanity would survive. Probably, we'd rebuild. Maybe we'd launch artificial moons to simulate tides. Maybe we'd write new legends about the time the moon abandoned us. Or maybe we just get really, really good at artificial lighting and pretend nothing ever happened. But one thing is clear. If the moon disappeared, it wouldn't just change the sky. It would change Earth, our history, our culture, and the way we see the universe. Also, the ocean would be mad, and you do not want to make the ocean mad. So tonight, if you happen to see the moon up there glowing softly like a loyal nightlight, it's probably a good time to say thank you. You may not notice it every night, but trust me, the moon is doing a lot more than just looking pretty.